Let's go to our man, Paul in Henderson, Nevada. What's going on, brother?
What's happening, gentlemen? Good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, man.
Good morning,
Let's
Paul.
make it a great weekend.
Oh, absolutely. I'm looking forward to Memorial Day coming up soon, and yeah, it's going to be great.
Totally.
Definitely.
Cryptocurrencies.
Bitcoin. Yeah, crypto. So check this out. I was at the Money Show the past couple days. I had it here in Vegas.
Okay.
And I used to go to the one often in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy myself because I get to meet a lot of, very new traders to very experienced traders and everything in between.
Yes.
And it was a great time. So they had a lot of crypto currency lectures and talks and things like that. And I was very surprised that the demographics of the people inside the talk were at least 50% women and at least 50 and up. So it looks like the older generation that probably has more bread is looking to get inside this market here.
Interesting.
The one thing about that Money Show that I would just add to that for sure is that demographic skews towards an older demographic than the Traders Expo shows, Paul. I don't know if you've been to both.
Okay.
And that's where we like to really hit up the Traders Expo shows because that's a little bit more in our niche, whereas you get more financial planning. But it's interesting to hear that even in the Money Show that you have the cryptocurrencies everywhere because that's interesting in itself.
Well, yeah. So, hey, listen, take a trip to Chicago in July. We're going to be at the Traders Expo in Chicago in July. We'll get to those dates.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, I think it's like July 22nd, 24th, somewhere around there.
Now, yesterday, Paul, I don't know if you heard me in the afternoon, I was talking about, I guess this past week, they had the big crypto conference in New York.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And here, I'll pull this up because this is pretty cool. But
something like 8,000 people all paying $2,000 a pop to attend. Pretty remarkable.
Yeah. Now the deal on this, I was bringing this up as to the aspect of.
I don't think
that's not it. I was bringing it up.
It was BitMEX, correct?
Yeah. And what they did though, and I was bringing this to the aspect that they're just basically promoting, which makes sense. You're promoting the product. What they did is that they rented a whole bunch of Lamborghinis. And they were spinning them all over New York, and they had them all parked in front of the Hilton, like all these guys that have already made all this money. and then it came out that no, they rented them all.
Kind of love marketing.
Yeah, I had pictures of it yesterday. It was like, because when you first bring it up, it's like, wow, man, yeah. And right off, as soon as I looked, I says, yeah, these guys really made a lot of money. But no, guess what? That wasn't the case. But that's what the aspiration was.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's wild about that BitMEX is they offer 100 times buying power, which is just insane. So, but they do it. It's based in somewhere in Europe, I believe, but. Yeah, the 100x buying power on Bitcoin. They have Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and I think Cardano now as well.
Okay. I can tell you what's a little bit scary about the story you just told about the 50% woman and then the older crowd. Not so much the older crowd, but Tommy would remember this too. When Forex was like going over the top and we would do these shows, like the Traders Expos, it was... actually, any older crowd, what you had is this. It was amazing how many women were getting into the Forex number. And then what they would do at all these booths, they would have all these young women there to try to get all these old guys over there. So it was so weird, man, because like at the very end, before everything blew up in the Forex market, you'd go to these shows, and not only at these shows, let's say there's 40 or 50 booths. At the last couple shows, there were like, 10 booths of all... Forex companies, and it was the Wild West, man. I mean, it was actually, I would say that, I don't know if it's more wild than Bitcoin, but there was definitely more people doing it. I mean, the booths were crowded, and of course, I'm saying to myself, this is amazing, man. But bottom line is that it was the same type of deal, meaning they were given the 200-to-1 leverage.
Yeah, and they would advertise commission-free, right?
Yes,
because they make the spreads.
Because they just make the spreads, right? Yeah.
That is insane. But Bitcoin right now, when we were looking at it, I believe maybe 2 weeks ago, it had done a pretty much I use the Gemini chart now because I get that on my TC 2000.
Okay, yeah.
So that's what I'm basing it off of. But it did almost an exact, actually it was really close to an exact 61% retracement of around 9,700. And now it's at a 61% retracement of that move.
Oh, that's cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost right at it. So it responds really well to the Fibonacci's. And so we'll see what's what this weekend coming up. It should be pretty interesting if this level is going to hold or
No,
it's
that's
gonna
good
give it up
info
and go
because
back up to the low.
you know that's really good info because inside the foreign currency market too, the Fibonacci numbers. I mean, you know, between Larry, Joe DiNapoli, you know, those numbers. There's some good consistency with them, and you know they basically do trade off them. And I can understand that more even because those the currency markets are just so big. They're just like so freaking large. I mean, it's like, you know, you can see them bouncing off, but I can see the Bitcoin market being new and, you know, no one has a handle on it yet. It's not like you got a Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Citigroup in there like with a trading desk.
They're just starting.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, you know, let's see if we can get a handle on this thing.
Sure.
Yeah, a few of the talks that they were doing there, they're basically, some of these companies were trying to get capital for their investment group. And
Okay.
it seemed to me by sitting there and listening to what they do, they're pretty much just traders. And they're trading around it. And they're looking for a safe way to invest in cryptos. And I kind of had to laugh because I'm like, I don't really think there's a safe way to invest in cryptos.
Hey, stay right there because I want to ask you a question when you come back here. The question is going to be when you say that they were looking for money. The question is going to be: are they looking for money for them to trade other people's money? Stay right there, folks. Paul, Tommy, and myself, we're coming right back. Dow is up 7, Nasdaq's down 21, S&Ps are off 4, gold's up 270. We caught a bid. Welcome back, folks. We're talking to Paul from Nevada. We're talking cryptocurrencies. So, Paul, were they trying to raise money to trade?
I believe so. So they were looking to one company in particular that really stood out because the way that they said that they traded was very similar to how I trade the cryptos. And they were called Blockchain Momentum, and they were looking to raise money to expand their operations there.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll show up at Chicago. I can't wait to see how that shakes out.
Definitely.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I'll tell you guys what, I should have had a TFNN shirt on, man, because every time I went to the bar to go talk to people, I was like, if you guys want to know Forex, you got to go see my man, Mr. Larry Pesavento. Price and volume, Tom O'Brien got it down, Basil. TFNN's where it's at, and
okay, we better get some shirts.
You're
right. We appreciate it, man.
We got to get some shirts and hats.
You got it.
Yeah,
totally.
Cups. We had the
whole
cups.
deal.
Yeah, totally.
Hey,
So-
Paul, just the other side, the sports gambling. Have you living in Nevada? Has anything been talked about in terms of that getting legalized, kind of in the states issue? You hearing anything out in Nevada as to how that's going to play out?
They said I heard the mayor on CNBC the other day, and she was saying that they're not concerned about it one bit. That people come to Vegas for the whole entire experience, and they're well more. They've been doing it much longer, so they got it down in terms of their sports books and things like that. So, but I think the online aspect of it's going to be really cool. I heard you talking about ESPN's going to allow you to just bet live or whatnot, right?
I imagine that's where it's going, right? I mean,
I do. I think Vegas is going to get more business.
Yeah, no, and Vegas is going to be fine. And I talk to friends that aren't gamblers, and I say, you got to go just because it's so much fun.
Totally.
Beautiful restaurants, beautiful everything.
Yeah.
Right.
No doubt. Cooking, brother.
All right, gentlemen. Have a great weekend.
You
You
too,
too.
Paul. Thanks.